Dallas Wings dropped to 15-14 overall. They are now in the 5th spot overall in the WNBA standings after losing 4 out of the last 6 games, including 3 straight at home. This is K-Lou from Dope Content and the Dope Sports Podcast. This is your Dallas Wings weekly update. Let's get right into it. Thank you so much for joining here on another Dallas Wings update here, brought to you by dopecontent.com. This is the Dope Sports Podcast Dallas Wings update. And as you see it, the Wings dropped 4 out of their last 6, including 3 straight at home. 2 straight against Chicago, and then last night they lose 104-84 to the Vegas Aces. And getting into that game last night, it wasn't even close. Vegas came out on a 14-0 run, getting rebounds all over the place. Dallas just didn't look like they didn't look like they was ready to play. And let's just get this out the way now. If you come to this show for the first time and you see the Dallas Wings, you see that's the team I'm covering, you see all the Wings branding and logo. If you're expecting me to be a homer and just not call it what it is, this is not the show for you at all. I got to call it what it is. I'm going to just be truthful and honest. When they're winning, I praise them. When they're playing bad, we just got to call it out. So that's what we're going to do here today. Again, not to just go at the Wings players or nothing like that, or the coaches or anything like that, but we just got to call out what we're seeing. They're not playing good basketball right now. And if you watch the press conference that I'm posting from the games, I'm hearing, a little bit. I'm hearing a few excuses from the coach. So from Coach T, and I love Coach Trammell, man. I absolutely love her. She's easy to talk to. One of the nicest people in the world, man. So shout out to Coach Trammell. But, I'm not always liking what I'm hearing from the press conference from the coach. But let's get into the game last night. Once again, Dallas Wings lose to the Vegas Aces 104-84. Asia Wilson on her birthday went off 28 points, 14 rebounds, so she hit you with a double-double. Kelsey Plum hit you with 20 points, 8 assists. Jackie Young always give us problems, man. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Chelsea Gray, 16 points, 5 assists. Then you had Clark coming off the bench with 11 points of her own. Vegas was just dominant, man. I don't know what else to say. Vegas is fun to watch. This is a fun team to watch. If you've been following us from the beginning of the season, I told y'all, I'm on record saying I didn't have Vegas losing no more than 4 games in the regular season. They're 25-3. And they just got blown out by New York on Sunday. And Asia Wilson was highly upset by the disrespect that she was feeling on Twitter. So I already knew this game was going to be bad. That's why beating Chicago was huge for the Wings, and they didn't get it done. But we're going to talk about those games later. Moving on, Dallas Wings, Natasha Howard had 10 points. She went 2 of 9 shooting, 35 minutes. Unicorn Satu Sabally with 21 points on 6 of 17 shooting. She shot 6-8 from the free throw line. Natasha Howard 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Satu did not have a great night shooting 3. She was 3 from 8. Natasha Howard was 1 from 3. Arike Agumbawale hit you with 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 39 minutes, 5 of 16 shooting. So that wasn't that great as well. She didn't get any free throw attempts last night. And she was 2 of 6. She was 2 of 6 from the 3-point line. Crystal Dangerfield hit you with 11 points in 27 minutes, 4 of 11 shooting. Not a good shooting night. 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Maddie Seegers off the bench, played 20 points, gave you 9 points and 3 rebounds. Kalani Brown, 16 points off the bench in 21 minutes, 7 rebounds and 2 assists and 2 blocks, shooting 6 of 8. Veronica Burton off the bench, 5 points, 13 minutes, 1 of 3 shooting, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Dallas did get out rebounded 45-30. Tiara McCowan, 0 points in 10 minutes. She just looked checked out from the beginning. 0 points in 10 minutes, 2 rebounds. That was it. And Tiara has low-key been looking checked out for the last 2 or 3 games. to the point where it's like we're up there in the media section, we're talking amongst each other like, yo, what's wrong? Is she all right? Is she tired? Is she frustrated because the calls have not been great. The refereeing has not been great in these last 3 games. So we got to call that out too. Referees have been horrible. Enrique got ejected for accidentally bumping into the ref at the end of the game with 52 seconds left.
Bruh.
What? The game didn't even matter. So why is she at that point? The game was over with. So why are you ejecting her anyway? And she went off. I'm mad. I had to leave. So I left right before she came in there. She wasn't even scheduled to do the press conference, but she had to get something off her chest, which I understand completely because that was just a bogus call. And the whole night, it was a lot of bogus calls. So going back to Tiara McCowan, it seems like she's just been checked out. Like the attitude. I'm not even gonna say attitude, but it's just like you could tell she's frustrated for not getting the calls. I mean, because they are swinging on her like they swung on Shaq. They're swinging on her like they're all over her shoulders. They all on her arms. Every time she get the ball, you got 3 or 4 players just grabbing at her jersey, all on the shoulders and all that. And she's not getting the calls. She's not. And I could tell within the first Chicago game that she was getting real frustrated. And when she gets frustrated, it's almost like she's checking out. And that's not good because she stopped putting in effort on rebounds. She's not really getting up and down the court like she normally would. And coach gets mad and she throws Kalani in there because Kalani's going to come in there and play, which Kalani did last night. That's why Kalani played 21 minutes. Tiara played 10. Now, Tiara could also last night could be different because Tiara did get hurt. She did get injured on the screen set by Marina Mabry. Shout out to the former Wings, Marina Mabry. She did get, they did have a collision, and I believe, Tiara got hit in the midsection and she was down for a while. So that could be, what factor into last night. But last night she did not look like herself from the opening tip. She was just either she was injured, she was checked out, she was tired, frustrated. I don't know, but she was not herself at all. It wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't fun to watch. Vegas Aces are 25-3. Moving on. Dallas Wings 15-14. They are now 9-6 at home. Vegas are 12-3 at home. Lost all their games on the road. And once again, I don't see them losing any more than 4 games in the regular season. That's just my personal pick with Vegas. And right now, they're making me look good as far as that. But it's fun to watch them play, man. I love watching Vegas. I love watching Asia Wilson play in person, just on TV, period. I just love watching them play. That is a fun team to watch. So, I mean, it's really no shame in losing to Vegas. But what they had, losing, they was down by 41 points at one point of this game.
Bruh.
So, when you get down by 41 points at home, and you got the talent that the Dallas Wings have, that's not good. So I was just about to say it's no shame in losing to Vegas, but they should be ashamed of themselves for what they did last night. Just got to call it what it is. Again, this your first time on this podcast watching this Wings update, and you're expecting Homer type of stuff where it's always all love and it's all roses and giggles and flowers, and no, that's not going to happen here. It's not going to happen here. This is not what this platform is about. We call it what it is. We tell the truth. If they winning and they playing great, we praise them. If they're losing and playing bad, we call it out. That's what it is. That's what it is. And the Dallas Wings have not been playing good basketball at all, to the point where you go from one of the top 3 to 5 defenses in the league to giving up exactly 104 points in the last 3 games.
Bruh.
They're not communicating. They're not hustling. They're not really going after the rebounds. They're giving up wide open shots that you don't normally see the Dallas Wings give up. These last 3 games, there was so many wide open threes. I believe Vegas made 16 threes last night. So many wide open. And I'm talking about wide open, not, oh man, they caught me off a pick or something. No, they're just standing, taking their sweet time, stepping in the shot, shooting. Marina Mabry did it in the last game against Chicago. Against Chicago, Marina was going off all day to shooting threes, and she made them pay because if you know Marina Mabry, you know she can shoot, and that's what happened. Like, that's what's been happening. Last night, Jackie Young shooting threes, Kelsey Plum wide open threes, Chelsea Gray wide open threes. It was just not fun to watch. The last 3 games, they lost 104-89 to Chicago, 104-96 to Chicago, 104-84 to Chicago.
Bruh.
Last 3 games at home, one of the best defensive teams in the league gave up exactly 104 points. So, of course, I had to ask Coach Trammell about it, and let's get to her response to what she had to say about the defense.
So, speaking of defense, with you guys giving up over 100 points in the last 3, how do you guys get back to being that top defense?
Gotta try to get into practice somehow, in between these games and continue to focus on that and not maybe just go short and sharp. You know what I mean? Just keep watching film and we got one more, which is another top team in this league, Connecticut, on Saturday. And they're a very good team, obviously, and so we've got to find a way in the next 24 hours to work on some of those things that we need to.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Amy.
Great question.
I saw you.
See, she said she really didn't really have answer outside of we got to go practice, find a way to practice. And before that, she was talking about defense with other reporters there, and she kept saying, I don't want to make excuses, but they're tired. That's what she kept saying. I don't want to make excuses, but they're tired. And the last couple of press conferences, she's been saying that they're tired. And I get it. This is a tough stretch, probably their toughest stretch of the year. So going into this, the Dallas Wings have played 6 games in their last 12 days, going back to Washington on the 28th of July. So they played 6 games in 12 days. And I think where the problem came in with this team was that Seattle game, that last road game in Seattle, because that's a late game, different time zones. By the time you get back to Dallas, you've already lost 2 hours. And then you got to turn around and play Chicago, and then turn around and play Chicago, and then turn around and play Vegas. And then upcoming, you got Connecticut twice. So I get that. But at the same time, with this roster, with what you saying this team is, you got to suck it up, and you got to put on better showing than this. Giving up 104 points in the last 3 games, that's not good. Is really no excuse for that. The lack of communication is really no excuse for that. You can't keep letting it slide. You can't give them excuses, otherwise they're going to take the excuses. So you got to call it. You got to call it what it is. They're not the only team playing a tough stretch of games. And just to bring it up, Chicago has played 5 games in the last 11 days. They went 3-2. Dallas Wings again played 6 games in 12 days. They went 2-4.
Bruh.
So Chicago in their 5 games in 11 days managed to beat you twice on the road. You at home, you lost to them twice, and you go 2-4 in your last 6 in 12 days. They schedule ain't that much different from y'all, but they managed to keep a winning record in the last 11 days. Let's go to somebody else. New York played 9 games in 17 days. They went 8-1.
Bruh.
9 games in 17 days. They went 8-1. 6 games in 12 days. You went 2-4. Chicago, 5 games in 11 days. They went 3-2, including beating you twice. At some point, we got to take that excuse away. Because it's not, and I'm saying this now because this is not the first time this year that I've heard coach say something about them being tired. It's not the first time at all. She said it not too long ago, maybe a month and a half ago, when they had a little mini stretch. I think it was like 3 games and 8 days, 3 games in 7 days or something like that. She said it then. She said it at the beginning of this stretch. And then she said it last night. She mentioned it last night about them just being tired. And once again, I get it. You're playing a lot of games a lot of times, but other teams are doing it as well. New York, once again, 9 games in 17 days. They went 8-1. And I know it's some people out there probably saying, oh, well, that's New York. You know, they supposed. Okay, well, the Dallas Wings say they're right there with New York and Vegas. They believe that they can compete with both of them. Last time they played New York, they beat them in New York. So which team are you trying to be? Are you trying to be a Vegas and New York type of team? Or are you trying to be whoever else under them type of team? You can't keep making those excuses if you're trying to be a Vegas and New York type of team. New York went through the stretch. They went 8-1. You're losing. Chicago went 3-2. You went 2-4. So what type of team are you trying to be? No excuses. Even if it's true, yes, you're playing a lot of games in a short amount of time. Other teams are too. So you got to make up your mind what type of team you're going to be. You going to be a team that make excuses when you lose, or you going to be a team that just suck it up with the talent that you got? Because you got one of the most talented rosters. Come on, man. You got one of the most talented rosters. Suck it up and get through it. And then you rest. Losing to Chicago at home right before you got to take on Vegas, who was first of all, Asia. I said this last night when I walked in the arena. I was talking to Landon. I was talking to my uncle. I was talking to a couple of people. And I said, I don't have a good feeling about this game at all. This is going to be bad. And they was like, why you say that? I said, look, Vegas just lost by 30. Just lost by 30 in New York. Asia is pissed on Twitter. If you look at her tweet, she wasn't happy. She felt like she's being disrespected when it comes to MVP and all that stuff. Yada, yada. And it was her birthday. Coming to town, and Dallas is the last team to beat them. So they was already motivated anyway. Yes, it was going to be bad. Like if you didn't come ready to play, Vegas came ready to play. 14 unanswered points to start the game. They came ready to play. Dallas wasn't ready to play at all. They wasn't ready to play at all. And that's just what it is. So moving on, you got Connecticut not once, but twice. Bruh. And if y'all remember last time they played Connecticut, that's when we got that Tierra McCowan clip that kind of, got everybody laughing. Well, she was making them faces at me after I asked, what is it about this team that seemed to give y'all a lot of problems? Because Connecticut give them problems, including in the playoffs last year, which I know that was a different Wings team, but it's still Connecticut, and they still gave y'all hell in the last 2 to 3 years. That's been consistent. So you got Connecticut here in Dallas Saturday, and then you got them again in Connecticut. You got 11 games left. Are you going to limp into the playoffs? Or are you going to, go into the playoffs with a little run, a little momentum? How you going to do it? Let's get into this Connecticut matchup. Last time they played here in Dallas, 88-83. Connecticut got the win. Very good game. Dallas, they play them well. They played Vegas well up until last night as well. So they play them well. They struggle pulling out the win against Connecticut, right? So going back to an 88-83 win by Connecticut, DeWanna Bonner went off in the fourth quarter late in the game. She was the difference maker with 32 points. Now, the 32 points, a lot of those points came at the end, and a lot of those were free throws as well. She went 11 of 11 for free throw. Tiffany Hayes, 28 points. She went 10 for 10 from the free throw line. So you got to limit those free throws in this next game against Connecticut, in the next 2 games against Connecticut. And I think you'll come out with the win. Play them like you played in the last game, but limit the free throw attempts. So I think Dallas played a great game. And it was one point, early in the mid-fourth quarter, where we thought Dallas had the game won. It was locked. They was up by 10 points. They was up by double digits with like 5.5 minutes left to go. So the fans were like, okay, we got this. This is a great game right here. This is a good game versus a very good team. They got it in hand. And free throw line. DeWanna was getting to the free throw line. Tiffany Hayes was getting to the free throw line. Natasha could never get her rhythm because they kept calling ticky-tack fouls on Natasha, which I said in the last video about that game. I was like, man, every time she started to get hot and started to heat up, tic-tac foul. Like, it was bad. Like, the refereeing has not been good. And somebody in Dallas pissed the referees off. I'm sorry. Because majority of the season, a lot of these home games, the ref it's been bad. Like, it's been bad. And it's to the point where we know who these refs are. When we see them on the court before the game starts, oh hell, here we go. Here we go. It's gonna be another bad game. And that's every time, it never fails. And then halftime, they run off the court. The refs get booed by the fans because the rest of the fans is apparently starting to recognize them as well. But yeah, we know once we see it's 3 refs. We see I'm not gonna point them out because I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But yeah, it's 3 refs that we know off bat. When we see them, it's gonna be a crazy game. It's gonna be a crazy game. So we'll see what happens, man. Dallas got 11 games left before the playoffs, and again, right now they're in the 5th spot. Let me go to the standings to see if there's any possible way they don't make the playoffs. I don't think it is. I mean, they will have to lose. They will have to lose out, right? But let me double check. Let me see what the standings are looking like, the updated standings. So Vegas is number 1, of course. 25 wins, 3 losses. New York is 22-6. Connecticut is 21-7. The Atlanta Dream moves up to the 4th spot at 15-13. Dallas Wings are 15-14. Right on their tail is Minnesota at 14-15. Washington is 13-15. Chicago is 12-16. 8 spots. Dallas is 3 games up from the 8th spot, from the last playoff spot, with 11 games left to go. So they better get on it fast. They better turn it around fast. 2 games against Connecticut. Jeez. Man. They need. All right. Yeah. I'm pulling. Look. Look, I'm trying not to go. I'm not trying to get too negative here, but back-to-back games against Connecticut, they gotta win. They gotta win they gotta split one of these games. Like, seriously. Because they're steady falling, and Minnesota is right on their tails. Washington is right on their tails. Chicago is right on their tails, especially after beating them twice. So, yeah, they better come with it. And then you got to think about matchups, too, in the playoffs. Do you want to match up with Vegas? Do you want to match up with Connecticut? New York, I think you'll be all right with New York. For some reason, I just feel like you'll be all right with New York. I think that's a good matchup. You know, even though New York is great and they're loaded, I think you'll be all right with New York. But you don't want to. I don't think you don't want to match up with Vegas. You got a better. Let's just avoid matching up with Vegas first round, and I think you'll be fine. We'll see what happens with Connecticut this weekend. One more thing before I let you go. I did ask Coach last night because I noticed one thing, and I didn't like this at all. The whole game, Vegas, going back to the game last night, Vegas was sliding back on the point guards, on Odyssey, on Crystal, and Veronica, giving them all types of space. Like they were Russell Westbrook, like Draymond Green did Russell Westbrook. That's what they did to the point guards, all 3 of them. They just would not shoot the ball. And I was baffled by it because I know all 3 of them can shoot. Veronica, even though she had a tough start to the year, Veronica can shoot. I know this. Odyssey can shoot. Crystal can shoot. We know this. I've been watching this team all year. And I've been watching WNBA even, we know they can shoot. So I had to ask Coach about that. So before I let you go, let's get into Coach response about that. Them passing up shots, and then I'll let you go.
So the guards seemed a little hesitant to shoot threes when Vegas was backing up off of them. Is that more of them being hesitant, or was it just we're going to run the offense as planned?
I wish we would have run. No, no. That's I think it was just being a little tentative, which I don't think anyone on this team should. I think and I told Crystal that actually after when she was coming out. You probably saw a moment there. I was like, you got an incredible shot.
Right.
A lot of times point guards will think passer first. I was like, you need to take that shot. I said, I trust you. You got the green light anytime you want it. And so I think she got back in some rhythm, with her shooting ability. I mean, she had 11 points. She hasn't had that in a while. And so I think that's something definitely to build on.
So, yeah, even coach said, hey, they were being hesitant. I had to ask the question, hey, are they told to just run the offense as planned no matter what, no matter if they're getting open shots, or is it just on the players, the point guards not shooting and not taking the shot? First quarter, I'm sitting right next to the play-by-play guy from the Vegas Aces, so he's doing his radio call right next to me. And I looked at him, and I was like, man, if our point guards don't take no shots, we gotta make them pay. Like, our point guards are not taking shots. They're wide open. You have to eventually make them pay. I tweeted that out as well. You have to eventually start taking those shots, no matter if you miss or not. If they go give you the shot and you take enough with those three shooters, with Crystal, with Odyssey, and with Veronica, you might miss a few, but they're gonna start dropping because they're gonna keep giving you wide open shots, and you're a professional ball player that can shoot, and I know all three of y'all can shoot. So you got to pull those shots up, man, until they just decide they want to change their defense. You got to force them to change their defense in that situation, and that's exactly what the Vegas play-by-play guy was telling me. I forgot his name, so I apologize if you see this, but he was like, yeah, they're gonna keep bagging up off of them as long as they don't shoot the ball, and that's exactly what they did. They would not shoot the ball. I just didn't understand it. So, but I had to ask coach about it. So for those who watching, I had to give you coach a response, man. We'll see what happens. They need to split one with Connecticut. They got to win at least one in these next two with Connecticut, because it's starting to get real dangerous with 11 games left to go, and you're steady dropping, or you look like you're about to drop 2 spots if Minnesota wins again and you lose again. So you better get to it, Dallas, man. I believe in y'all. Y'all got the talent. Y'all got the skill. Also, I didn't get this clip, but I also asked Coach about the update on Diamond DeShields, because most of us thought we would see her back by now. And the reason I asked for this update on Diamond DeShields is because normally she was at the games. You'll see her on the sideline, sitting next to Lou and all them, just chilling at the games, supporting the team. For like the last 3 or 4 weeks, she was nowhere to be found. Not on the bench, nowhere. We can't find Diamond DeShields. So again, a lot of media people was asking, we're talking amongst each other. Nobody wants to ask the question. So I'm gonna be the one to ask these questions, because y'all know how I am. Like, I'm all about just being 100 and up front. If people want to know, if people really want to know what's going on with players, and they don't want to ask, I'm gonna ask it. And that's probably why. Oh man, I'm about to go into a whole rant. Hold on, man. And that's probably why I'm having issues with the top people in charge with bringing players onto my show, because they know I'm gonna ask the questions they ain't nobody else asking. Everybody wants to be friendly. Everybody wants to be friendly and just keep it all positive and all that. Again, last night when I was talking to other media members, I told them I didn't have a good feeling about this game, and it's gonna be bad. And I said Asia's pissed, and it's her birthday. And then one reporter told me, well, Enrique is pissed too from the last game. I said, it don't mean nothing. And it's not shots fired at Enrique. It's not shots fired. I just know there's a difference from when Enrique is playing pissed and when Asia is playing pissed. Asia playing pissed, she's going to turn into a freaking mini LeBron James. Enrique's playing pissed. She's gonna hit you with a couple of shots early, but you can tell that she's pissed because like she's not gonna be herself. So trust me, I've been watching Enrique since college. So I think I know a little bit, about what I'm seeing from my view, right? I'm not saying I know her like the back of my hand or I know her better than this person or that. I'm not saying all of that. I'm just going by what I see and what I can remember. So, yeah, but man, yeah, I was about to go into a full rant there, and I'm gonna leave that rant alone. But I do have another rant. Ion Television, WNBA Ion Television, get it together. I live in Dallas. If the Wings are playing, the Dallas Wings are playing, and it's a Friday night, and you got to schedule an Ion TV, you got an Ion TV schedule set for the WNBA. I shouldn't be watching. Why is my thing changing colors? I don't like that. What's going on up in here? Look, well, see, every time I'm about to go on the rant, something happens. I shouldn't be watching New York and Minnesota when I live in Dallas. And I can't find the freaking Dallas Wings. If it's on Ion Television, I shouldn't have to search past Ion Television. I don't care if it's, they got an Ion worldwide and an Ion local. My cable don't pick that up. My cable pick up 68 or whatever the local channel is for Ion Television. That's it. Like I had to load up a jailbroken Fire Stick just to find the freaking Dallas Wings game, and missed the whole first half because they were on the road and it was on Ion Television. But I'm watching New York and Minnesota and Dallas while the Wings are playing. Y'all gotta fix that. WNBA, Ion, whoever that's on. Fix that. Fix it. Like I don't even have none of this. Just fix it. That's stupid. That's like the Cowboys or the Mavericks playing on local Fox, but we're watching Green Bay versus somebody, or we watching the New York Knicks versus somebody versus instead of the Cowboys and the Mavericks. That don't make sense. That's stupid. That's stupid. I got all the Bally Sports channels, that little stupid channel stuff. I got all that stuff, and they was nowhere to be found that day. I had to jailbreak a Fire Stick just to watch the second half of the game because everything else was popping up. Minnesota, New York. I even went to the Minnesota, New York Ion on the Fire Stick just to see if it was going to play Dallas. It was Minnesota and New York. So why we can't get our local team if New York is getting their local team? Anyway, man, I appreciate y'all watching because it's a lot more I want to rant on, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. It's been 30 minutes, so I appreciate y'all watching, man. Thank y'all for joining. Dallas Wings, get it together, man. Y'all got 11 games left in the season. Y'all asked for more games in the season. Y'all got more games in the season. Part of getting more games in the season is playing tougher schedules where you playing every other day. That's part of having more games. WNBA added more games this season. That's part of it. No excuses. If they lose Saturday, I don't want to hear nothing about them being tired. Especially when the last game was Tuesday? So now you got a little break. You should come out fresh Saturday at home against Connecticut. You need to come out fresh. You need to come out ready to play, and you need to come out ready to make a statement. And you need to let us know what to expect come playoff time. Because right now this team is starting to feel very familiar to last year's team. And we know how that ended last year. So that's all I'm going to say. But until next time, man, y'all be safe. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Go to dopecontent.com and subscribe for free if you haven't already. If you want to show love to the brand, you can go to pay.dopecontent.com. Or you can cash out me personally. Everything that y'all cash out when it comes to dope content or pay when it comes to dope content goes directly back into dope content. We do giveaways on Twitch. All this gear and lights and camera. This stuff ain't cheap. Going to these events, let me tell y'all something. And I'm doing this too because you know what, never mind, bye. Cause I don't want to keep y'all long. Because every time I say I'm gonna leave, I end up going to another rant. So just know, going to these events is really costing us money. We're not making money going to these events unless you're just actually like showing love to the brand and you're tipping the brand and whatever. Like most of the time, us going to these events, we're wasting our gas money. We're spending our money on whatever food, whatever equipment, mics and stuff to pick up the press conference that y'all watch. Sports con, that wasn't free. It was free, but you still gotta drive out there. You still gotta make sure your camera is working. You still gotta buy memory cards. You still gotta have the lights. You still gotta buy tripods and stuff. All this stuff costs. I'm just saying. We get in free, but it costs us to get there. They're not paying us to do that. Because I'm under my own brand. This is dope content. I'm under my own brand that I'm trying to build from the ground up. So yeah, when people like myself, J Tuck, Law Nation, when y'all tip to us, we definitely appreciate it because it goes directly back into the brand. Stream decks, mixers that you're listening to, lights, cameras, mics, other cameras for different things, webcams, screens so we can see what the hell we doing on the computer. I mean, like, it costs money now just to stream. Restream is not free. Melon is not free. It costs money to stream. If you want live streams, we gotta pay for that. So I'm just saying, hey man, show love to the brands, man. Not just me. I'm not just saying this for me, but all the creators that you follow and like. Show love to them, man. I don't care if it's $2. If you tip $2 every few weeks, we'll appreciate it. We'll treat it like it's $200. I promise you. I promise you we will. We'll treat it like it's $200 because anything and everything helps the brand. Because we're still paying out for streaming services, cameras, equipment, mixers, stream decks, etc. And we still got our own bills to pay. We still got kids to pay. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm just saying, man. But y'all be safe. Have a good one, man. I love y'all. Subscribe to the website. That's free. You ain't even got to pay nothing for that. All you got to do is put your email in and you'll stay up to date with everything dopecontent.com. So it's a lot more I wanted to get into, man, as you could probably tell by the way I'm talking right now. But I'm forcing myself to get off because I don't like doing these super long videos, man, unless it's live and I got people talking back and forth with me live. So I'm gone. Have a great one, man. Until next time, y'all be safe, and I'm out.